And we're back here at Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, with the Honourable Peter Bethlenfalvy. He is the Minister of Finance and the President of the Treasury Board for the province of Ontario. Great to have such an esteemed guest on our program. I wanted to talk a little bit about tax policy. Maybe this came up in some of the stakeholder consultations too, people wondering what the tax burden is going to be like for small businesses, perhaps, and individuals in the future. Do you have any first principles going forward as you start to craft a budget?
Well, I would say that our focus, as I've said at the beginning of your program, is the health and safety of every Ontarian. The Premier has shown incredible leadership of putting the priority on the health and safety of all Ontarians, and we're not going to waver. So there may be a time, these deficits that we have, Tony, are big in this province, but it's the right thing to do. We've got an invisible enemy, and we've got to beat and defeat that enemy, which is COVID-19. These deficits, there'll be a time to look at the books and think about those sort of things. And what I can say is that they're not sustainable in the long run. They're not desirable. But right now, my focus has been on the defeating the pandemic and keeping people safe and protecting their livelihoods.
Do you think it's possible, even in the short run, to attract more business and more industry to Ontario? I know it's hard to think of these things in the midst of a pandemic, but it's got to be for you and Minister Vic Fedeli, who's the Economic Development Minister, still a top priority. Is that right?
It's a great question, and I'm really glad you asked that, Tony, because you have to be able to walk and chew at the same time. And that's why focusing on livelihoods is such an important part of this as well. And we've got some really good news on that front. We were leading the country in job creation before the pandemic. We've been hit hard in the lockdown, but we've been able to bring back a number of the jobs. And I see a couple of things. First off, the investments, for example, in the Ford plant, where we put some money up and the federal government put some money up, that's in Oakville, to bring electric vehicle manufacturing to Ontario. And I believe strongly that we got to go where the puck is going to be in the economy and the jobs of tomorrow. So that's very encouraging. That's going to create jobs and help protect jobs that might have left because of the manufacturing, less demand for motor vehicles. We got to look at technology and the modernization of this province. And I'm very encouraged with the talent that we have in this province, a world-class academic system, and a real diversity of talent that, as part of, you didn't mention that I'm also the minister in charge of digital and data.
That's my next question, but go ahead.
Okay, okay, well, we'll go there.
Yeah, sure.
I really have a vision that Ontario should be the leading digital jurisdiction from a government point of view on the planet. I see no reason why not to try to be the best because of all the ingredients that we have. And what does that mean practically for day to day? It means things like, as I mentioned, not having to go into a doctor's office, that you can do it from home, or a mental health visit that you can do online. That you have the choice. If you want to go in, it'll be digital first. You can do it online, but not digital only. So if you want to go in, you can do that too. Whatever your choice and comfort zone is, you can do that. And I really believe that this is all about enhancing the citizen experience, doing things more quickly, doing it reliably, doing it in a way that people want goods and services delivered. I think it's a tremendous opportunity for this province.
No, I completely agree with you, and I'm glad that you're still have some passion for that, because I think that's very important. I'm just going to ask about a couple of other issues that may be on people's minds, and maybe not directly your responsibility, but when you're Minister of Finance, everybody's coming to you. You know that already. So how does your focus on the economy dovetail with something like climate change, as an example?
Well, it does, absolutely, because conservatives are about conservation. That's part of our mantra. And Tony, you would know from your time at Queen's Park how much the progressive conservatives invested in the environment, whether it was the beginning of the process to shut down the coal plants. That was conservatives. The building up of the Oak Ridges Moraine and the building of the Greenbelt, that was under the Conservatives. Federally, the first attack acid rain, it was such a big issue for Canada That was a Conservative government. The creation of national parks, the first global climate change conference with Prime Minister Brian Mulroney advocated for. On a lot of levels, I think we share this across party lines, that we care about the environment. I mentioned earlier, investing where the puck is going in terms of not only the jobs of tomorrow.
I hate to do this, but we're going to take a brief break.